Hello world! We are nearing the end of our anti-aging skincare ingredient series. Today I'm going to tell you guys about some miscellaneous ingredients like alcohols and give you a little bit of info on sunscreen as an anti-aging ingredient. Hey everybody, Shelly here, and we are nearing the end of the road on this anti-aging skincare ingredient adventure that we've been on. We have covered cell-communicating ingredients like retinol and niacinamide, and skin-identical ingredients like ceramides and hyaluronic acid. We talked about antioxidants like vitamin C and grapeseed. We have talked about alpha hydroxy acids and different acids and peels for exfoliation. Today we're going to get into some miscellaneous ingredients like alcohols and a little bit about sunscreen as an anti-aging approach. However, I've got two other videos on sunscreen and sunscreen ingredients, and all of those, including the videos prior in the series, will be linked in the down bar below, so feel free to check that out and catch up if you have missed those along the way. But let's get into our primary miscellaneous ingredient that I want to talk about, and that is alcohols. So one of the things you will see about alcohols in your skincare ingredients is often that they are drying. And if you've got dry skin, you generally want to avoid alcohols in your ingredient list because they will dry your skin out even more. And for some alcohols, that is true, but there are some alcohols that are not drying. And if you've got drying alcohols in a very low concentration, meaning they're very far down toward the bottom of the ingredient list, and there are other very good hydrating ingredients that are higher up on the ingredient list, those other ingredients might negate the effect of those drying alcohols, and it's not going to be a big deal. Of course, if you're sensitive to alcohols and your skin doesn't like them, then of course you should avoid them. But if you're not sensitive to them and you've always avoided them just because they're alcohols, you might not need to. So when you're looking through your ingredient lists, the alcohols that are considered to be drying alcohols, they will be listed as SD alcohol, or they will be listed as denatured alcohol, or they might be abbreviated like alcohol denat, sometimes with a period, sometimes not. Or you might see it listed as ethyl alcohol. These are considered drying alcohols, which in most cases, especially if you have dry skin, you will want to avoid them unless they're in very low concentrations and there's other hydrating ingredients on the ingredient list that might negate that. But there's a kind of alcohol called a fatty alcohol that is not a drying alcohol. In fact, they actually can be hydrating ingredients. So they come by lots and lots and lots of different names. I'm just going to give you some of them, and this is not a comprehensive list, and I am most certain to butcher some of these names, but let me share with you some of the fatty alcohols that are non-drying that you should not be concerned about in your ingredient list. If you have dry skin, they're not going to dry you out. In fact, they might be hydrating. Caprylic alcohol, cetyl alcohol, cetyl alcohol, decyl alcohol, lauryl alcohol, myristyl alcohol, that's a pretty name, isostearyl alcohol, oleal alcohol, and stearyl alcohol. Those are all fatty alcohols that are non-drying. You should not be worried about them in your ingredient list for drying skin purposes. You're also going to see sometimes on an ingredient list fragrance alcohol, and that is such a generic name. I can't stand generic names because that really means nothing. But the fragrance alcohols, while they generally are made up of drying kinds of alcohols, they are one of the last ingredients on the ingredients list, if not the last. So typically you don't have to worry about them because they're so far down the ingredient list that there's such a low concentration that they're probably not going to cause trouble. Remember, the top 6 to 10 ingredients on your skincare ingredient list are going to be the most potent, with those top 6 really being the big players in that list. So you want most of your good ingredients in that top 6, and all the rest of them to be farther down the list, because the lower concentrations are going to be, you just want more good, less bad. So top 6, top 10, those are the ones that you want to be good stuff, not the bad stuff. Just want to give you a little bit of information as you consider sunscreen as a key component of your anti-aging routine. When we talk about UVA and UVB rays, most of the time these days you're going to find that your sunscreens on the market are going to be considered broad spectrum sunscreen, meaning they block both UVA and UVB rays. The ones we care about for anti-aging purposes are the UVA rays. The UVB rays are the ones that typically cause sunburn and cancer. So UVA are the ones we're blocking for purposes of anti-aging. Those are the ones that give you sunspots and break down the proteins in your skin, and you lose elasticity and all of the things that lead to aging in our skin. So as you're looking at different sunscreen ingredients, look for UVA protection. Now, you also don't necessarily want super high SPF, because that's measuring your UVB protection for anti-cancer purposes. And for a couple reasons, when you go above SPF 50, you are going to tend to have a much higher concentration of ingredients that are blocking the UVB rays, and therefore less ingredients blocking the UVA rays. So while you may be, uber blocking cancer, you're also not blocking as much of the aging effects. Also, as you get higher concentrations of those UVB blocking chemicals, they tend to cause or have a higher frequency of causing reactions in your skin, negative reactions, allergic reactions, that kind of thing. Anyone that has sensitive skin has probably experienced this with super high SPF sunscreen. So generally you want a minimum SPF 15, maximum 50, and you do want it to be broad spectrum, but you don't really want to go higher than 50, because when you go that route, you're most likely going to have higher incidence of reaction to the UVB blocking chemicals, and you're going to have less UVA anti-aging prevention chemicals in your sunscreen. There you have it. The last components of our anti-aging skincare ingredients: sunscreen, alcohols, miscellaneous. Now, I've got one more video for you, and that is going to be my AM and PM skincare routine, where I will show you exactly what I'm using in the morning and at night, and what order I apply these things in, and how I do it. And hopefully that will give you a leg up on finding your own products and your own skincare routine. Like I said in the first video, there's going to be trial and error no matter what, because all of these products, even if you start with an educated guess as to what's going to work really well for you, some things just don't work for some people, and some things work better than others for different kinds of people, because we all have different skin issues, different skin moisture levels, different skin, yada, yada, yada. Lots of different variables that go into all this stuff. But I hope that by giving you guys some of this information, you've got an educated ballpark to start from, and that you end up not wasting as much time and money as I did just trying things out, just kind of throwing things at the wall to see what stuck. Now that I've got a really good routine that sticks, it's working really well for me. I'm very happy with it. I hope that this information can help you to construct your own anti-aging skincare routine. So please give me a thumbs up below if you have enjoyed this series. Keep an eye out for the next video. If you subscribe, you will get a notification on your YouTube subscriptions page when I do post that last video with my AM/PM skincare routine. Thanks a lot for indulging me with geeking out over these ingredients. I know this is not the most thrilling and exciting topic in the world, but it is so important if you want to have a really good, thorough anti-aging skincare routine. So I do hope you find this helpful. Thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.